I'm going to show you 7 starter farms with no frills. All you need is starter materials, no going to the nether, just iron and a little bit of redstone. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance, on my farm tutorial series. I've been asked by a number of people that they want a farm that's not got all of the fancy building around it, all of the frills, all of the funny business. They just want a farm that is utterly functional and nothing else, and they don't care what it looks like. And I thought, you know what, I could do that. I'll try not to use a single bush in my entire build. So we are going to go for 7 farms that are right at the beginning of your game, that you have no worries about making looking fancy. Now the idea is that these are farms that you can use near the beginning of the game. So we are only going to use materials that are variants of wood, stone, sand, iron and redstone, or the things that we get from the farms that we make using these items. I'm doing this in the snapshots for 1.16. I've got warped stem there and crimson nylium. So we are doing it in 20W07A as I record. Now it is possible that some it might mess up in the future variants, but it's unlikely. These are fairly basic machines. These are the timestamps for the 7 different farms. So if you want to skip to one of the farms specifically, jump to that timestamp. The link is in the description. Farm 1 is a crop farm. This one is dead simple and only uses the items that we mentioned before. This is also quite tileable. This is only 3 wide, but you could make this a lot wider. Let me just show you how it works. So we have got round the back here a lever that you can throw, and when you throw that lever, if you can see up here, we've got all of our farm bits going up there. Throw that lever and that is going to wash all the farm stuff down into those hoppers. Throw the lever again and that pushes the sand back up again, and you can come inside through this hole that you've got here on the chest to plant up your bits. Inside your thing there you've got a load of seeds, and eventually you will also get the wheat coming through. There you go. So what you're going to need for this farm is 1 chest, 3 hoppers, 46 cobble, 3 pistons, 3 sand, 2 buckets of water, 3 redstone dust, 21 wheat seeds which you can get from smacking grass, 3 redstone repeaters, 2 torches, 1 lever and a wooden hoe. All of these things you can get from the 5 things we mentioned. First thing you need to do is dig a hole and shove a chest in it, then put a row of 3 behind that and pressing shift click push that hopper into that chest. You can see there the little nib is just poking into the chest. Then continuing to shift click, put a hopper on either side of those 2 hoppers there. Then get yourself some cobble, put a cobble either sides of that chest and then diagonally across from those hoppers. And then I want you to count 8, including this one as one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And then come across diagonally 1, 2, 3, and then diagonally finish off this kind of screwy looking rectangle. And then come along here, and these back 2, I want you to dig them out, and dig out those 2 again twice. So we've got a 2 deep hole that is 2 by 3. Place your pistons there, get your repeaters like that, and place your sand on top of your pistons exactly like that. Then get yourself the dirt that you've just dug out and replace it there, there and there. Get rid of that cobble, and underneath here I want you to dig out those 3, so the 3 that are next to those repeaters. Put a redstone there, a redstone there and a redstone there, and you'll see they'll all connect up. Get rid of that block as well and place yourself your lever on top of that block. That will allow you to flick the lever and raise that sand. If you flick the lever off, the sand lowers because it falls, and flick it and back it up it goes again. Replace that cobble that you had there and then put a bucket of water on that one and a bucket of water on that one. That creates an infinite water all the way across all 3. Then more cobble and just put a second layer of cobble all the way around where you've got 1 cobble already. So that is a 2 high wall. That is perfect. Then come inside, get yourself your torches and place your torches about halfway down, 1 up from the floor, exactly like that. And then dig out underneath there and refill one of your buckets from the center one here. That will refill itself. Place water there. Come back, do it again. Place water there. And then replace those 2 dirt blocks that you just dug out. Get yourself your hoe. Hoe out all of this 3x7 gap like that, and then plant all of your seeds. Once that's planted up, you are ready to go. Just wait for those seeds to grow and you have got yourself a working farm. The second farm is an AFK Fish Farm, and this one could not be more simple. All you've got is a false river, a false water source that you fish, and this trapdoor will cut off your string when you've caught something, and that will shove that into this chest. Let's make it. To make this farm, which is so overpowered, all you need is 1 chest, 1 hopper, 1 wooden fence, 3 signs, 1 wooden pressure plate, 1 notebook, which is just 8 lots of planks surrounding a redstone dust, 1 iron trapdoor, 1 bucket of water, and a fishing rod, which you can make out of sticks, and just kill 1 spider, just 1 spider, which you can do using an iron sword from your iron. Now this farm is so easy, it's embarrassing. So dig a hole, put in a chest, then dig a hole next to it and pop in a hopper using crouch click, then pop using again crouch click a fence post on top of that hopper. Put a sign on that side, a sign on that side, a sign on that side, and your note block at the back. Then get your bucket of water and click it onto the post. That will waterlog that post beautifully. Get your oak pressure plate, pop it on top, and then top of that note block at the back, facing from here, pressing crouch click, put in your iron trap door. That, believe it or not, is the end of your farm. And then all you need to do is come right up close and point your fishing rod at the very front edge of that note block. And that, if you keep your finger on the fish button, will continue to cast, and that will get your farm as an AFK fish farm. I think I have just caught something, and I will continue to do this until I catch something else, and then we'll check our chest. I'm hoping that it's something more than a fish. Now you can do this from AFK, and if you keybind or basically press something onto your mouse button, that's entirely up to you. What have we got in our chest? 2 fish. Well, that's a bit boring, but you get a lot of other stuff, including bows, which you will need in a future farm. Next up is a beef and leather farm, and this one is an absolute doddle. Get loads of cows inside there, and in here you get your leather and your raw beef. I'll show you how to make it now. All you need for this farm is 1 chest, 2 hoppers, 8 bits of cobblestone or another block, it could be wood if you want, 1 dispenser that you can make out of one of the bows that you got from your AFK fish farm, 1 bucket of water, 1 button, can be stone, can be wood, 2 fence posts, but you're going to get one of them back, a load of wheat, and a few cows that you can draw into your farm. As I rule these farms, this fella is also dead simple. Dig a hole and put a chest and make a little L shape and come around the back, shift click into the back of the chest with the hopper, and then shift click another hopper onto there. Get your dispenser, and at the end of this hopper chain, face it so the face is facing towards the hopper. Put a cobblestone there, shift click a cobblestone onto that hopper, and then put cobble, again shift click on top of the dispenser onto all of those, and then shove another one there. So that is all 8 of your cobbles. Pop your button on the back of that cobble and enter by clicking the dispenser and put a water bucket in it like that. If you then press that button, if you can see there's nothing going on in that side there, press that, you've got water in there, press it again, and it sucks the water back up again. Then get your fence, pop 1 fence there, and then you just need to populate this thing with cows. Now you can tempt the cows in by holding wheat. There's a cow here, that's quite useful. If I come close enough, that cow is going to find me very interesting, and all I need to do is tempt him and drag it up towards this system, and then when it eventually gets on top, if you climb up, it will eventually come up the step. It's very interested, and then you can coax it into the hole. Now, once you've got a couple of cows in here, you can start breeding them up using the wheat, and those baby cows will grow into big boy and girl cows. Once you've got 24 cows in here, you want to seal it up by shoving a post next to this other post, and then you can claim that other post back because it doesn't have to stay there, or you could leave it there. It's entirely up to you. Now, if you want some nice juicy meat, hit that button. That will raise these cows up, and you can feed and breed them. They will breed up, and as a result of the entity cramming problem, which means that you can't have more than 24, 25 entities in a single block space, the big cows will start to die and the little cows will replace them. Now, the big cows die before the little cows. You can see I actually picked up a few raw beef there, but there's also beef and leather coming into the chest. Once they're ready to breed up again, you can just go again. And that will cause more death and more meat and leather. The cobblestone farm couldn't be easier. You're creating stone using lava and water, and then you just mine that out, and the lava and the water replace the stone as you dig it through, and it all collects into the chest. I'll show you how to make it. To make this stone farm, all you need is 1 chest, 3 hoppers, 26 cobblestone, 6 cobblestone slabs, 1 oak log, 1 oak sign, 2 buckets of water, and a bucket of lava. Absolute doddle. To make this stone farm, place your chest not in a hole but on the ground, and then get your hoppers and run a chain of hoppers so as they run into each other and into that chest. Then get cobblestone there, there and there, there and there as well, and on top of those cobblestones stick a cobblestone slab like that. That's brilliant. And then on that side of the slab, almost like wings, create yourself a cobblestone surround there. You want a cobblestone there, and then also cobblestone there and a cobblestone there. You also want to have your oak log there like that, and I'll talk about why the oak log is there in just a moment. Get your sign and pop a sign on the side of the block. Doesn't matter if you press any letters or anything, it is totally irrelevant. If you really want a clean one, then just replace it. And then get yourself a water bucket. Place 1 water bucket there and 1 water bucket there. That will create an infinite water source. So collect your water from one corner and place that there, and that will flow all the way across and create infinite water source in a 3x3 pattern. Next up, get yourself another row of cobblestone there, all the way around like that. Pop 1 on top and then cover over your water and that there. So you've got basically a trench 3x1 right there. Pop a lava bucket on the middle one there, and that will change these water sources in the middle to stone. You can see lava falling on top of a water source block will change that to stone. And then with your pick, slam through, and that will create you some stone. I'll go into survival and show you that. So as you can see, I'm now in survival mode, and I'm going to mine through this stone. So just chipping through, and you can see it automatically replaces that stone. The reason we've got that log at the back there is if you happen to chip through this stone fast enough and get to the log, it takes a lot longer for a pickaxe to mine out the wood, and by the time you even get close, the lava will replace the stone. So it doesn't take very long whatsoever for you to be able to gather a fairly decent amount of cobble. Just the time that I was talking there, we've gathered 18 cobblestone. It's obviously worth noting that if you put your cobblestone into this furnace with some charcoal that you've created from burning the wood, you'll get some stone back. You don't need a silk touch pick. The sugarcane farm works really quite simply. The sugarcane grows along a row, and these pistons push any grown sugarcane off into the water that is then collected in here. It's got complicated redstone at the back if you want to do it that way, but you can do it manually too. To make this farm, you need a chest, a hopper, 8 bits of dirt, 1 bucket of water, 48 cobblestone, 8 pistons, 62 glass, 8 sugarcane, 2 torches, and 1 stone button. And if you wanted to make the redstone circuitry at the back to automate it, you need about half a stack of repeaters, maybe more depending on how much delay you want to put on there, maybe a handful of redstone torches, and maybe about half a stack to a stack of redstone dust. So you've got a couple of choices for your sugarcane farm. One is a lot more simple to build than the other one, and we're going to go for that. You can go for the other one, which is a bit more automated. Put in a chest, take out that there, and place in a hopper straight into that. Then pop yourself a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pop a bit on the end there, and then trim off next to that as well. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Dirt. Very important that that is dirt and not cobblestone. Pop a bucket of water there, and what that will allow you to do momentarily is to plant up the sugarcane on here. Then put a cobble on the back of this, another one on the back of that, and then get yourself your pistons and place a piston 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Cobblestone on the back of those pistons, exactly like that, and then redstone dust along the back of those. And then what will happen is when we press this button here, that will fire all of those pistons just once. Then we need to build this up. Now, I do like to use glass. Glass is well within our rules because you can have glass out of sand. So bring up with 2 high row of glass here and pop a bit of glass there and a bit of glass there as well. And then along the top, ring round more glass. Actually, just bring glass here, here, and here. Ring round more glass all the way there. Exactly like that. Now that is going to cause you absolutely no problems at all, but what is sometimes a good idea is to just cap off this like this. Plant up your sugarcane, because if you don't do it now you will forget and you won't be able to get in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then seal it up like that. Now it's sometimes a good idea to get this lit up, and it's very, very simple. Just pop a cobble there and a cobble there and shove a torch on both of them. That is going to give enough light in there so as no mobs could possibly spawn. Now this is where this bit is not automated, so you're going to wait for that sugarcane to grow, and when a sugarcane's actually grown, then you're going to press this button manually to harvest that sugarcane. It's not ideal, but it does work. There is an automated way of doing it. However, if you use observers, you have to go to the nether for the quartz, so that's not allowed within our rules. So you have to set yourself up a couple of T flip-flops, and I'll just show you how to do that. Now, because we aren't allowed to have a hopper clock, because that would take a comparator, and a comparator unfortunately uses quartz, and then we can't use observers because observers also use quartz, we need to have this ridiculously overly complicated timer here. So we've got this first section here which has got 12 repeaters all set to 4 ticks. Now those 4 tick repeaters times 12 gives us 48 ticks, so 4.8 seconds. We then use a T flip-flop which doubles that to 9.6 seconds, and then we've got this second T flip-flop which doubles that again to 19.2 seconds, so let's call it 20 seconds. If we added another T flip-flop, that would make it 40, another T flip-flop, that would make it 80, but for the purpose of this I thought I'd just stick 2 in there. So that then pumps into this pulse generator, and that pulse generator fires these every time a pulse is shoved through it. So let's just wait for the next one. We've got to wait for the T flip-flops to both flip. So that one's now flipped over. We wait for that to flip again, and that will fire the system. Boom. And that will push, you can see there, a little bit of the sugarcane into this hopper. So if I open that up, you can see we're starting to collect the sugarcane. It's not ideal. Often these pistons are going to be firing off without needing to be fired because there's nothing to stop them, but it is an automated system. The Bonemeal Farm is a bit of a cheat, but I still consider it to be a farm. 1 chest to feed it, going through a composter into a collection chest, but you can connect it up to a lot of different things, and you can lob a load of stuff into that chest at the top, make it a double chest, and you can lob in twice as much. To make this, all you really need is 1 chest, 2 hoppers, and a composter. However, you can obviously automate it. Now for a Bonemeal farm, this one could not be more simple. Pop yourself down a chest there and a hopper going into the chest. Put a composter on top of that hopper and a hopper going into the composter, and then a chest on top of that, and then fill this fella up with whatever you want really. That will go through, continue to make that bone meal. You can see it's going up there already. Very, very simple, and eventually it will be collected in that chest. Now if you wanted to, you could connect this up to this farm here and automate the process completely. Alternatively, just lob compostable items into the chest. Is it a farm? Well, I think it kind of is a farm, but you could argue that this one is a little bit grey. This tree farm is tileable, very much like a number of the other farms that we've done. It's got a dispenser, flicking bone meal onto a sapling that is powered by the simplest of simple redstone clocks that you can possibly imagine, turned on and off using that lever. Let's make it. What you'll need for this farm is an iron axe, a dispenser, 3 cobblestone, 1 cobblestone slab, 6 dirt, 7 redstone dust, 3 redstone torches, 1 lever, and a single oak sapling. The starter tree farm is pretty easy. Build yourself a tower that is 6 high, and then on top of that put yourself a slab, and then jump off and then remove all of those 6, and then on that is where you're going to be putting your saplings. Get a dispenser facing into that block. Don't do anything with it just yet, and put redstone dust going into it. Then leave yourself a gap and then pop a cobblestone block right there and put a lever on it. Then put a redstone torch next to it. Flick that lever, it just keeps that torch off. Pop a torch there, put a redstone dust there and a redstone dust there, a cobblestone there, a torch there, a redstone dust there, a redstone dust there, a cobblestone there, a torch right there, and then a redstone dust there and there. This is the ultimately simple clock. And then if I flick that switch, you can see that that goes flick, 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 and it fires that over and over. Fill this guy up with bone meal. Perfect. And then when you flick the switch, you'll see that can fire the bone meal. Get yourself your first oak sapling, place it down in front of the dispenser, right underneath that there, and flick your switch. That will eventually get that to grow a tree. It will only use a bone meal if there is no tree there. Then farm out your tree, cut that down with your axe, plant a sapling that comes from that, and that will grow another one. Do it again, and it will grow another one, and it will continue to do that until you run out of bone meal. But of course you won't run out of bone meal because you've got a Bonemeal farm going right next door. And there you go, 7 ultimate starter farms that require nothing more complex than iron. You don't have to go to the nether, and you can make all of these right at the beginning of your game. You just need to have dug down a little bit to be able to access the iron and the redstone. Really, really simple. This will have a world download, which will be in the description below, so you can come and have a mooch around them for yourself. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying it, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.